Okay. So today I'm going to explain bapi. As I mentioned in the first session of bapi, data migration technique, I have explained this bapi can be used in three scenarios. One is to migrate the data from legacy system to new system, and the other one is to communicate between SAP system to external system, and the third one is we can generate a report using bapi. So third scenario I'm going to explain today. So we will generate a report using bapi. So these are the major scenarios where we use bapi. One is to migrate the data from legacy system. Second one is to communicate between SAP system to non-SAP system. In yesterday's class, we have seen like we have created BAPI, a custom BAPI using a function module, then we added into a business object. So the combination of function module and business object we call it as a BAPI that we use to communicate to the external system. And third one is suppose if you want to generate a report, so we have standard BAPIs, and with the help of standard BAPIs, we can able to create sales orders. We can able to delete sales orders or change sales orders or materials. So it depends on the requirement. Instead of writing the code manually, we can make use of the BAPI. So BAPI is like a function module. So SAP already has written the logic. Just we have to call the BAPI and we need to pass the parameters which are required. So this scenario we'll see. So this I did in my project. So let's see this one. So the requirement is we have to remove specific business partner roles. So this is comes under sales and distribution module. So here the requirement is they want to delete or they want to remove business partner roles based on the business partners. So we have two tables, that is but 000 and but 100. So in this we have business partners, and but 100 we have business partner role. So they want to delete business partner role based on the business partner. So based on the business partner, they want to remove the business partner role. So this one they can do by using a transaction. But if they are using a transaction code, it will take a lot of time to delete manually. So they want a solution that they want to delete at a time maximum number of business partner roles based on the business partner. So partner roles should be delete based on the business partners. That should be mass deletion. Means at a time they want to delete bulk of business partner roles. So for that we have a standard BAPI. So the standard BAPI has given by the functional consultant. So that I'll show you. So they have given the standard BAPI and they gave this requirement. So the selection screen, they want business partner and business partner role, which has to be deleted. So here they did not mention which must be a select option or uh, single parameter. So sometimes we will be getting how the selection screen they want. So functional team will be specify this one. Suppose if they don't specify, we need to ask them, or else we need to analyze like user want to select the business how they want to delete based on the business partners. So business partners are it's like a material numbers, it can be having a range, right? So that we can go for select option. And business partner role is like a imagine like material type, we have different material types. So a range of materials can be have a single material type. Similarly, a range of business partners can have a single business partner role. So whenever they want to delete, so they can choose one business partner role at a time. Meaning indirectly, here we need to build selection screen for partner is select options, or I can say range, and this must be single. So single in the sense it is a parameter. And whenever we are using parameter, always remember we have to use it as a mandatory field. We have to keep it as a mandatory field, even they specify in the functional spec or if they don't specify. Whenever we are using a parameter, mustly like we have to it's like a golden rule. You have to remember, we should make it as a mandatory field whenever we are using a parameter, and depends on the requirement, we will use a select option as a mandatory. Okay, so this is a requirement. So we have to remove or delete business partners based on the business partner role, based on the business partners. So business partners are existed in this table. Business partner role is existed in this table. So let's see the table first. Mm, let's see. So this is but 100. This is for BP roles. So if you see, this is a field BP role. So based on the business partner number, we have to delete business partner role. But we should not select business partner number from this table. There is a master table for business partner. So that is but 000. So here, so this is a master table to store all the business partners. If you see, this is the first field to store a business partner number. So based on this business partner number, we have to delete this business partner role, or we can say BP role. Suppose if I execute, see this business partners like this table and this table have a connection, like header table, item table, how they have a connection, same way here these two tables have a connection. So based on this business partner number from this table, we have to delete or we have to remove this one, business partner role. But here we should not write like they want to delete at a time bulk of business partner roles, right? So to achieve this one, we have a sorry, we have a bapi. So the bapi is, so if you want to see the bapi, you can go to bapi explorer, or you can use directly SC37 transaction code. And here you can search bapi star, use F for help, you will get all the bapis from SC37 also. So this is the bapi bupa role remove. If I click on display, so see, delete BP role. So this is the standard BAPI which has provided by SAP. So instead of writing manual program, we can make use of this BAPI. So this BAPI is used to remove the BP roles. Suppose if I go to import parameter, so one is a mandatory parameter is there. So the mandatory parameter is nothing but this business partner. So here I have to pass input parameter as a business partner to this BAPI. So this business partner, how can I get it? From the table, right? Based on the user selection. Here there is a condition. If you see a list of selected business partners, based on the user selection of this business partner, we have to delete this BP role using this BAPI. Let me copy. Here it won't be copy. Okay, let it be. So this is the requirement. So first we'll create selection screen, then we'll see the remaining. So the selection screen must have a range of business partner and single input of BP role. So for that, let me go to SC38 transaction code, and here 2025. So click on create. Mass deletion of BP role based on business partner. So choose the type as executable program, save it. So these steps already you know. So now I need a selection screen. So in real time, whenever we need a selection screen, always remember we have to create a block. So we already know how to create the block, like selection screen, begin of block. So block name. Suppose block name I will give B1, and we need frame, like if user see, that should be understand to them, like whenever we create an input screen, so that should be user friendly. Whenever they look into that input screen, they have to understand, okay, this is for input criteria, so here we have to enter the input. So like that we have to create. And, these all the things they don't specify in the functional spec, we have to write. So block title and the text we have to write, they don't specify everything in the functional spec. Always remember. So whenever we are going to create input screen, we have to follow this one. No one will tell us you do this way, like that. Okay. So selection screen, begin of block B1 with frame, title and text. So text must be right in the text element. Suppose I'll start in 001 and it must be close. So selection screen, end of block B1. So the block will be closed. So in between this block, I will put my input parameters. So one is range. This is a business partner. The other one is parameters. So if it is a range, we use a select options. So select options. Yes, partner. I think it won't take all the. Let me try whether it will give an error. Okay. If it is a select option, we have to use for. And let me go to the table. Not this. So this is the table, and this one is a field. So table is but 000, and partner is a field. So whenever we are using select option, we have to declare either tables or else you have to define one more variable. So instead of creating a variable, I will declare a table. So this is for business partners. Next, we need BP role. So for BP role, they said it should be mandatory, or else always remember whenever we are creating parameters, we have to keep it as a mandatory parameter. So for BP role, what is the field name? RL type. Either you can take this one data element, or else you can take table name hyphen field name. So but 100 RL type. PRL type. Let me write this. Type but 100 RL type. And how can we make it as a mandatory parameter?
by using obligatory.
Yes, by using obligatory. So now we made it as a mandatory parameter. So this is a BP role. Let me save, check. Do a predict enter. So I'll activate. So I need to pass a selection text for these parameters. So go to text element, selection text. Always we have to pass this selection text. So this also they don't specify. We need to pass it. So this is for BP role, and this is for business partner. Save it, activate it, and once again activate the program. So here text is missing, so let me finish the text. So if you see, like we are learning about, so we know this one, this is for input screen. Like here we need to enter the input, but if user is using for the first time, they don't understand what they have to do in the screen. So we have to mention clearly. So for that, let me double click on the text element to create the text element. Here, input screen, go back, activate and execute. So they will understand, like this is for input screen, here they have to enter the input, right? So now input screen is ready. Here user will enter business partner and business like BP role. When they click on execute, it has to remove uh, whatever the business partner specified, those BP roles must be deleted. So for that, here we have to use uh, uh, let me open the bapi. So this bapi. So before using that, here we have an input criteria. So based on the user selection, the business partners, it has to delete BP role. So what I need, like how can I write that one? I need to get business partners. Based on the business partner, I have to delete this business role. So how can I write the logic? Before deleting, first we need to select it, right? So to delete that, we have this BAPI to delete BP roles. But before deleting, we need to select it, which BAPI role you want to delete. So how do we write that logic? Any idea? If you want to display sales order details based on the user selection, what you are doing?
Select query.
Yes, here also we have to use select query. See, here we want to delete BP roles, but before deleting, first we need to select it, right? Which BP role you want to delete. So how do we select those BP role? We have to get the data from the database table. So the main purpose here, they specified the tables. So what is the need of these tables? We have to get the data from this database table. Then with the help of BAPI, we have to remove. BAPI here we are using only for deletion purpose. But before we are deleting, first we have to select it, right? If I go to um, this table, so this is for BP roles. Imagine that. Okay, let me execute once. So these are the business partners. Suppose user want to delete from this business partner to this business partner, whatever the BP role has assigned, this they want to delete it. So here I'm selecting and I'm showing, but through programmatically, how can we do this one? By selecting from this table, right? So I have to get this business partners from the table. Once I get it, with the help of PAPI, we can able to delete it. So, so here we are using selection screen, like select options, business partners from which table, but 000. So based on this select option only, we have to delete the BP role. So first I need to select business partners. So how can I select business partner? Can anyone of you tell me what I say? Select query. You can try. It can be correct or not, but give a try. I don't start until you say. Any one of you take initiative and tell me today. These many days we have written select query.
We want to display only BP role, no?
We have to delete BP roles based on the business partner. So BP
We have to
roles
select both
delete.
the fields from
Hmm,
BUT 800
BUT,
triple zero.
but BUT 000 doesn't have BP role field. If I go here, see, there is no field,
So
RL type.
we have to fetch from BUT 100 and select from BUT 000.
So what we have to fetch from this table?
This we should be using where condition.
Okay, my question, do we need to fetch anything from this table?
If we partner. Business partner number.
BU partner number, right? So listen carefully. We want to delete BP role based on the business partner. So business, always remember, whenever we are fetching something, that we will take from the master table. So this is the master table for business partner. So from this table onwards, we can get the business partner. So once we get this business partner, by using this function, by using this BAPI, we can able to delete BP role based on the business partner. So because here, if you see, this is the input parameter. Here we are giving BP, like B partner. This is nothing but business partner. Okay, let me write something, otherwise you don't understand. So here we need to get the partners, business partner from BUT 000. Um, select any try. After select, what should I write? I need to get the business partner from this table. So how can I write select query?
From BUT
What is the
triple
field name?
zero.
No, no, no. What is the field name?
BU
Partner. Yes, partner is the correct one. We want to fetch only business partner. So for business partner, what is the name of the field? Partner. So select partner, then
from
from
BUT one from BUT
BU.
000
Mm-hmm.
where into
Where into or into where?
into table.
Into table. 1 second. Now here you are saying into table, but till now I haven't created internal table. So how can I create internal table? Everyone think and tell me. Here still I haven't defined my internal table. So before using the select query, I need to define my internal table. So tell me, how can I define the internal table? What is the structure of this internal table if I create?
IT table type table of BUT 000.
IT table, type table of BUT 000. But if you observe, here I'm not using select star. If it is a select star, your answer is right, BUT 000. But here I'm fetching this field only, right? 1 second. If it is a work area, here it is not single. Whenever we use select single, then we can use work area. Think about it. When we go for structure, like what things we used to mention in the structure, on which base we used to create internal table. Think of it.
BUT 000 hyphen partner.
No. I'll give a hint. So suppose it is but 100, right? So this is but 000. Okay. If I go to table entries, so out of this table, I will select only this column. Okay. So based on this column, based on my select option, it will filter out these business partners from this column. Now, did you get any idea? This is but 000 table. I will fetch business partner from this table and I will store on the internet because here I'm not fetching only single record. This business partner has multiple records. If you see, multiple records are there. If I scroll down, I will fetch only this one, this column. So it is multiple column, multiple records are there. Multiple rows are nothing but I need to create internal table. But before creating internal table, I need to define it, right? So how can I define the internal table? I cannot define type table of but 000. If I define like that, it will take all the columns. But I'm not taking all the columns data. I'm fetching only first column, this only one column data. Almost I said the
Create
answer.
structure. Should we create
What
structure?
is what is the structure? Like how can I create the structure?
For single
Um,
field, we'll create types big enough.
okay, tell me. Let me write it here. Types big
Big enough.
enough. Hmm, suppose ty partner. Okay. Hmm. Here, what should be right?
Partner.
Partner.
Type
Hmm.
BUT 000 hyphen partner.
Then
Then we should give the structure name there in type table of general table.
correct. Yes. So this is the right one. See, here I want to fetch single column. Even though if it is a single column, we need a structure for only that one column because this single column has multiple records. If I go to the table, see, not this one. Multiple business partners are there. Instead of fetching, see, user want to fetch only business partners from this table. And business partners might be having 95. If you see 9, okay, this is 95 feet. Suppose imagine that 200 records are there. So 200 business partners they want from this table. So to store the 200 records, I need an internal table. And internal table, generally we used to create internal table based on the structure. So here we need only this one column. So only one column in the sense I need a structure of only one field. So always remember whenever we are writing the logic based on the query. Uh, okay, so we need to declare it. Okay, so depends on the requirement. Either we need to create structure for one field or multiple fields. We have to see the requirement and we need to define it. So here internal table type table of structure name. So structure name is ty partner. Sorry, ty partner. And so here I can write into table internal table. And here user have a condition based on the, so they don't want to see all the business partners from the table. Based on their selection criteria, they want to fetch business partner, and according to that they want to delete bp role. So how can we give the condition here?
There,
Where
partner in
partner in,
H
yes,
underscore partner.
yes, correct. So from here onwards, we will get all the partners based on the user selection. It will fetch from this table and it will be stored into, mm, here I missed it, internal table IT table I have written. Okay, IT partner. Let me change it. IT partner. So it will be stored in this internal table. Now, suppose if user has entered wrong input, if user has entered correct input, okay, that will we will call bapi and it will delete the bp roles. But suppose if user has entered wrong input, so we have to send a message that invalid business partners for the selection criteria. So that type of code we have to write. If user has entered right input, then we will delete the BP roles. If user has entered wrong input in the sense if it is not exist in the database table, then it has to hit a message that invalid selection or no data found for the selection criteria. So how do we write that logic?
Size of RC not equal to 0. Message.
Yes, if size sub RC. Okay, let me write. If size sub RC equal to 0, then we will call the mapping. If size sub RC not equal to 0, then we will write a message, right? So first I will write equal one. Let me write after not equal one. Let me write now only else part I will write else and if. So if size sub is equal to 0, meaning if the input is right, then here we will call the bapi and here we will delete it. Else else part, if size sub is not equal to 0, else is nothing but if the above selection criteria is not found, then here we will write an error message. So first itself, let me write, or else first you can write size of RC not equal to 0, then else part you can call the BAPI. Either way it will work. So here let me write message, no data found for the selection criteria. Type suppose information. Either you can give a information or error message. So this I have written the else part. Now if size of RC equal to 0, meaning if the above statement is true, then we have to delete the BP rules based on the this selection. So based on this selection, what is happening? All the business partners are stored in this internal table. So based on this internal table data, we have to delete BP rules. So that logic I will write here. Let me write if no input passed. Okay. So here we will call the bapi. So to call the bapi, we have to use again pattern. Same, whenever we want to call function model, same way we have to call the bapi also. Because bapi is nothing but it is a combination of function module and business object. So from here onwards, we can call the bapi. Um, So this is the BAPI. You can type it like BAPI, BUPA, and you can put star and you can find out. So this we will get from the functional consultant. Suppose if you don't receive it, we need to explore it ourselves. Is there any function module or BAPI to delete business partners? We will get n number of BAPIs or function modules. We need to test it before we write the logic. You need to go to SC37, pass input value and test it. If it is successfully done, then we can use in the logic. Suppose if I go here, if you see here execute button is there, right? So from here onwards you can execute it. You can pass the input and you can execute it. So you will get a return parameter. If you get return parameter success, then this is the right BAPI. Else you can go for other one. So in that way we can test it. Now I'll enter it. So this is a mandatory parameter by default. It came with the uncommented one. So let's pass the value. Before we pass the value, first we need to check what is the type of this parameter. And so double click on it, it will navigate. But instead, I will use one more session. So this one, if I double business partner is there. If I go to the program, what is the parameter name? Business partner, right? So business partner, what is the type here? If I double click on it, it is a business partner number. If you see BU partner, so I need to pass the parameter value. So do you know which parameter I need to pass it here? Just look at the program and
Internal
let me know.
table?
Yes, in this
Internal
internal
table?
table, we have partner, but directly we cannot pass internal table data, right? If I go to this one, it is not a tables parameter. If you see, this is a structure. Look at this one. It is a structure. So here we cannot pass directly internal table data. We need to pass only structure type. So how to do that one? Now I have the data in my internal table, but this bapi doesn't support directly internal table data. It need a structure type data medium. So what should I create now? Let me explain once again. I am fetching business partners from this table, but triple zero. Based on my input selection, it will go to this table and filter out. Then it will be stored in this internal table. And to delete BP roles based on this internal table data, I am using this BAPI. And when I call this BAPI, there is a mandatory parameter. So this parameter type is business partner. So business partner already we have fetched from this database table and we have stored in this internal table. So this internal table data I should pass to this parameter. But this parameter type is a structure type. It doesn't accept internal table directly. So if I want to pass business partner from this table, I have to pass with the help of structure type. It should not be like internal table. We already learned different data mediums like variables, internal tables, work areas, right? Now, this parameter doesn't accept internal table directly. It need a structure type because in this um, BAPI, they defined it as a structure type. If you look at the BAPI, this is a structure. So whenever we pass any parameter to the function module or BAPIs, it should be same type of data medium. If it is a structure, we have to pass structure type. If it is a table, we have to pass table. So right now it is a structure. So here I have to pass structure type only. So what should I
Will pass
create
work
now?
area. Work area.
Yes, correct. Exactly. Work area we have to create. Now everything is in this internal table. But internal table directly we cannot do for all the data manipulations. If you remember, we need work area. So before we call this BAPI, first of all, we have to get everything from this internal table into work area. So how can we get? Now data is exist in the internal table, but I need to get from internal table into work area. So how can we get the data from internal table into work area? Because internal
Same.
table is having multiple records, right?
Append statement.
Yes, tell me again. I couldn't hear you clearly.
Append statement.
Didn't get you.
Loop statement.
Yes, loop statement. Loop at IT
Short loop.
partner into work area. So as of now, work area I haven't created. I will create it now. Here, work area, partner, type, structure. So structure is ty partner. And here I can write work area partner. And loop must be closed by end loop. So before going to else part, I will write end loop. So if size about is equal to 0, then we are looping everything from internal table into work area. And after that, we are calling BAPI to delete business partner roles based on the business partner functions, business partners which user has selected. Okay. Now here, how can I pass business partner? Here it should be passed structure type, right? So how can I pass it? This type of
Area,
query already written. Yes,
work area,
only work area.
hyphen
Is it
partner.
correct? Yes, hyphen partner. So in this work area, which field, if I go to this, this is the BAPI, right? In this BAPI, see the parameter how they have defined BAPI structure hyphen business partner. Same way we have to define. So for this structure, which data medium we have this work area, because everything after storing in the internal table, one by one record we are getting into this work area. In this work area we have a specified field for the business partner, that is partner, so we have to specify clearly. And always remember, whenever we are using BAPI, always we have to uncomment the return parameter, because with the help of return parameter only we will be knowing whether it is deleted successfully or whether do we get any error. So in yesterday's class also I mentioned every BAPI we use return parameter. In the custom BAPI, when we created custom BAPI, in the export parameter I have created return parameter. And if I go to the standard BAPI, see there is a return parameter. So this is of this type BAPI red 2. If I double click on this one, so this is the structure. In this structure, with the help of type field, we can able to specify whether it is a success message, error, warning, or info, or abort. And if you want to read the message text, you can use this one. Remaining all like optional one, but these two are mandatory. Whenever we want to display a message, we need message type and message text. With the help of these two things, we can identify whether we did successfully or we got any errors with the help of these two parameters. Now I have to uncomment this one. I'll go to the program, uncomment it, and before we pass this parameter type, we'll check it. So what is the type? BAPI red2. So here I'll declare. So that is a table. If I go to BAPI, see it is under which tab? Tables tab. So if it is a tables tab, I have to create internal table. Okay. So I'll go to program IT written. So this is the internal table name. Type table of the type which they have given in the BAPI. So it will store the return values. So this one I can pass it here, IT return. And so first we are fetching business partners from but 000 table based on the user selection. And afterwards it will store on the application layer in an internal table. Once we get the business partners, we have to delete the BP role. So to delete BP role, we can use this BAPI. So in this BAPI, we are passing a mandatory parameter, that is business partner. Because if you see the requirement, so they want to delete BP roles based on the selected business partners. So where we have selected this business partners, in this internal table only we have it, right? Based on our input criteria, we selected and we stored in this internal table. But directly internal table data we cannot pass to this parameter because it is a structure type. This parameter type is a structure type in this BAPI. So that is the reason we have to pass with the help of a structure type data medium. So if it is a structure type, that is nothing but work area. So now everything is in this internal table. So this internal table, imagine that it has 200 records. So work area can store at a time one record. So we will loop the internal table. At a time we'll take one record, and based on that one record, we will remove the BP role. And once we did this one, If it is deleted successfully or whether we got any errors, that will be stored in the return parameter. So we have to define the return parameter type here. Now everything is stored in the return parameter. You don't get any output, you will get a return parameter only. Like there is an error or there is a success message, so that will store in this return parameter. So for return parameter, I have passed this internal table. So this internal table has the data, or else let me show you in the debugging mode. Let's see whether we get a data. So I'll activate it. So as of now, remaining logic I haven't written. So let's see how it is fetching the data. So I'll put a breakpoint at the thread query and see. Mm, business partner, let me take from the table. And so low to high I have given, and the corresponding VP role. So BP role. So these are the business partner. So based on this business partner, from this number to this number, whatever the business partners are there for this BP role, this has to be removed. This BP role has to be removed for this business partners, right? So I'll click on execute. Now our breakpoint will trigger, and let's choose desktop 3. So as of now, internal table is 0 because this thread query is not yet executed. So if I click on F5, our internal table will be filled. Where is our selection parameter? So S partner. So what is our S partner? So I have given low value this one, high value this one. If these two values are exist in the table, then our size sub RC will be 0. It will go to the next line. Suppose if the input parameter is not existed, then it will go to the else part. It will display this message. Okay. If the parameter values are exist in the table, our size sub RC statement will be true. True is nothing but 0. It will go to this loop. Else it will go to message else part. So let's see. I'll do F5. Now, if you see IT partner, 2946 records are there. If I double click on it, see these many partners are there. Now I'll go to desktop 3. So our size sub RC equal to 0 because our internal table is filled. If I do F6, sorry, F5 again, now see our size sub RC is 0. If it is 0, it is true. So it will go to this loop statement. Now, if you see this work area is empty as of now. It wasn't read the record from the internal table because this line is not yet executed. Now the data is exiting the internal table, but still work area is empty because this loop is not yet started. Loop at internal table statement has written, but now the control is at 25th line. It is not yet executed. If I do F5, then this work area will be filled. Before doing F5, okay, let me do. Now, what is the work area number? Like work area, which data is there? 431. If I go to this internal table, see what is the first record? 431, which is ending with 431. So it has taken the first record. Okay, so one by one record it will take from the internal table and it will store in the work area. Now this work area has this business partner. Now when we get the work area, whenever the work area is filled, we are calling the bapi to remove the BP role. Okay. Now if I do F6, I'll do F6 because if I do F5, it will go to this program. We don't want to go to this program because it is created by SAP. If I double click on it, see this business partner, based on this business partner, whatever the assigned BP role is there, that will be deleted with the help of this bapi. So whatever we got the first record, that first record we are passing into this bapi to delete the bp role which is assigned to this business partner. And I haven't written clear statements and all, so I believe it might give an error, so I have to clear it. Okay, so right now it has given error, so let's see. Do not pass a bp role category or a bp role. Okay, so in that way it will be work, and I'll execute. So now, like whenever we practice, we will do till here only. But in real time, we should not stop the code here itself because there might be a chance of getting errors whenever we delete BP roles. So we have to write clearly. If we get any error, we have to write a message. Or if our program will give a exit directly, then we have to write a message. So the end user will understand what is happening whenever they are executing this report. So this is nothing but error handling. So even though if it is a negative, that we have to handle it properly. If it is a success message, anyhow we will write, but there might be a chance of getting errors. So that also we have to handle it. So that process we call it as a error handling. So error handling in the sense, if there is a chance of getting errors or exit our program, then we have to write a error message properly. So in every report you should write it, not only for this bapi, even if your classical report, interactive report or alv report, you have to use error handling. So all the scenarios we have to write the logic. If it is success, that is nothing but right scenario. Suppose if you are not getting the data, that is a negative scenario. So for that scenario also we have to write logic, at least to display a error message, so that user will understand. Now, mm, our data is existed in this internal table. So whenever I have executed, we have seen what is existed in this LT written in the debugging mode. But if you have seen in the output, there is no data. When I click on this execute, there is no data, like it wasn't display any output because there is no write statement. If you observe in this program, there is no write statement. So that is the reason we haven't seen any output. Now to get the output, we have to write the logic, like if it is existed or if it is deleted successfully, or whether we get any errors, that we have to write. So those all the things are stored in this internal table. So from this internal table I have to get the data and I should display the data. Now, any idea how to display the data which is inside of this internal table?
Create work area for iterator and loop it.
Yes, correct. So we have to create work area and we need to get one by one record from this internal table into work area. Then we can use a write statement. So here, let me write work area return type bapi ret2, and here. So instead of looping, because I'm not going to loop it, there might be a chance of getting an error. So we have different types of error messages, right? If I go to this, so we have a chance of getting messages. It might be error type and abort type. So whenever we use reports and interfaces, directly we will get a error message, or else sometimes our report will exit directly. So whenever our report exit directly, that we call it as a abort. So there might be a chance of getting two negative scenarios, either it might be error or abort. So for these two scenarios, we have to handle the errors. It is not only getting only error type of message. There are two types of messages are there in a negative scenario. So I'm not going to loop it because these two are not same category. So instead of that, I will read it. If it is a error message, I will read. If it is a abort message, I will read. So for that, I'll write the logic. Hmm. Suppose here I will write read mm, or display message, read message type E or A. So E is nothing but error, A is nothing but abort. So for this, first I will read E type message. So to read that internal table, we have a statement read table internal table. So internal table name is IT written into work area. So work area name is work area written, and here we have a condition with key. So here we have a value. So we want to read only error type of messages first. So for error type of messages, we have the value E. If I go to this bapi, if you see what is the value, it is a single character. So single character in the sense, if it is a success message, it will return like S. If it is a error, if you are getting any error, it will be written the value E. Suppose if our program will exit directly, it will return the value A. So it will store a single character. So this is nothing but value. So this value I will pass it here, E. So it must be capital. So we are reading this internal table if the key value is E. So if it is E, then we will write a message. So here, let me write a statement if size abart C not equal to 0. Why I have written not equal to 0? Because let me write end if, and it must be have a else part. Okay. So here we might get a chance of getting error message or abort message, right? Suppose if it is an error message, we will write one type of message. Suppose if it is not error message, then what is the next negative scenario? It is a abort message. So that is the reason here I have written not equal to 0. If it is not error message, then again I will read this internal table, because the negative scenario is one more abort message. So with the key value is equal to A. Now here if size sub RC is equal to 0, and if so, first I'm going to read if there is E type of message. Okay, if E type of message not there, if it is not equal to 0, then what type of message will be there in the negative scenario? That is A type of message. And here I am writing if above statement is true. Suppose if it is found A type of message, then here I will write a message, or we can use a message in the message class, or else we can use a text element to write a message, or else you can use a write statement. Anything is fine. So here let me write statement. um, Even if it is a abort message or error message, we will display the same type of message. Oh, before that, let me give some value. How did I miss this value? So let me declare a variable lv error to display this one. Lv error type abap true. So this one first time you're seeing abap true. Let me double click on it. So mostly we use this one. So if it is a true value in the real time, we use this value abap true. So this is a global constant. If you see, this is exist in the type group abap, and abap true, this is a field, like they have created like a constant. So we cannot change this value, constant value, we cannot change it. So instead of declaring in our program, we can use the existing one, existing constant. So this constant value is returning the value of capital X. So capital X is nothing but true. So this one I will use from here to here. Above true. After here I haven't written, right? or type abap. So here direct value I'm taking. So this error, so LV error is nothing but it indicates whether we got this success message, oh sorry, this abort message, error message is true or not. So for that reason, I'm going to pass a value to this variable. So how the value will be? It might be, so it will be the capital X. Capital X is nothing but it is true. If it is an error message, I will pass it as a capital X. If it is a abort message, I will pass it as a capital X only. So instead of creating character type or string type, we can use the existing one. So that is the reason I have used this abapple. So this one we use many times in the real time. So that is the reason today I have shown you this one. So if size abart is equal to 0, I will pass LV error is equal to abap true. So abap true is nothing but we are passing capital X. Okay. So else part let me write. Suppose if it is a abort message, I am passing this variable as true. Suppose if it is a error message, same thing I will pass it because both are same negative scenarios only. If it is a error message, I am passing LV error is true. If it is a abort message, I am passing LV error as true. Okay. Once it is true, then we'll see. Mm, okay, this is after this one. So I have to write it here. So whenever you are using multiple if statement, just double click on the end if so that you will get where you have started the if block to write the remaining code. So here I need to write. Suppose if LV error is equal to abap true, meaning when LV error will be true whenever it get error type of message or whenever it get abap type abort type of message, then it will be true. If it is true, we have to display error message. So for that, write. Let me write error for removing BP role. Here, if you want to show specifically which BP number you are going to be delete, then let me use this. It's like a pipeline. So let me use this one. Whenever we are using that one, we don't need to put single quotes. So error for removing BP role. So here BP role I will give. So BP role, which parameter we are giving? PRL type. So here you can use this curly bracket. Inside you can write your parameter where you are selecting the BP role. So that the user will understand which BP role they are going to delete. And partner, it is giving an error. Partner, so partner we are getting, so not ls here, we are getting from work area partner. And if I want to display error message, I will display error message after some characters space. Suppose I'll take 50. Here we are getting message error message or warning message from this internal table. So this internal table has a work area. So with the help of this work area, we can read the message. So work area written, here we have message. So here let me explain what I'm doing. Here I want to so whenever you want to specify uh, the values which you are getting. So sometimes it might not be possible with the message class. So in that case, we can use write statement and we can use the syntax. So whenever we want to write a text statement, like we have to use a pipeline, and here you can write your text and the value, which value are you want to display, that one you can specify in the curly bracket. Either it might be parameter or it might be you are getting from your work area, your text and the values. So these values we are getting dynamically. This one we are getting dynamically only because whatever the user will enter, that value will be written here. Here also, based on the user selection of the parameter partner number, the first record will be get it into this work area. So if you want to display a dynamic message with the help of numbers, then we can use this write statement also. Sometimes we cannot use, or it it is a chance of tricky whenever we are using a message class. At that time, we can use this write statement also. So this is also one more way to display message. Uh, Else, so I need a else part. This if is there, no, not yet. Let me write this end if. So if LV error is equal to ABAP, or ABAP true, meaning if we get any error or abort message type, then it will be displayed this message. Else, so else part is nothing but success. If there is no error, then success. If there is no error, then that is nothing but else part. If there is no error, if there is no error, we have to display a success message. So same way, mm, bp role, bp role number, so that can be used with the help of these curly brackets. So you must give one character space, otherwise it will give an error whenever you are using this one. PRL type. So bp role is successfully removed, removed for the business partner. So business partner number where you are getting with the help of work area. So work area partner hyphen partner, and this has to be close. We can write message type, or like message whatever uh, the written parameter is returning. So here I can write message. Let me have a check, because we are using multiple ifs. Sometimes we might get an error. Okay, there is no errors. And always remember, whenever we are using loop statement and if we are using work areas, so here each and every time business partner will take from this internal table, right? So same work area is going to pick the first business partner, second business partner, third business partner, like that. So whenever we are using same memory space, always remember we have to clear it. Otherwise, you don't get the right data. So before end loop, you need to clear it, everything. Suppose I will clean up everything here. Work area partner and work area written. Internal table also. If you want to clear internal table name, square bracket. And here we are using this variable also, right? So everything I'm going to clear here. So before end loop, you can clear everything, because same variable I'm going to use to store this error and abort message for the next loop iteration. Same work area I'm going to use to get the return parameter. Same work area I'm going to use to get the partner number. So that is the reason we have to clear it. Every loop iteration, it will be clear, whatever the values we are getting. So let me save, check, activate, and then execute. So here I will pass the input and let's check. Let's wait some time. It's getting load. Sometimes we need config also. So this one in our what I say, in our system they did the configuration. So based on that, we did this program. But in the practice server, I believe they have created. But if they don't create, we don't get the right input. Okay, the first one is not config properly. So the remaining one you can see. BP role is successfully removed. Okay, I need to give some extra space because it has cut here itself. Okay, let's give some extra space here. It should be 90. Let's see. Here also, let me give 90. So there are 2000 above records are there. So that is the reason it is taking some time to load everything. So you can see this is the BP role I have given in the input screen, and this is the business partner getting from the work area. So these values are displaying, how these values are displaying in the right statement I have given. So the user can understand easily this BP role is removed for this business partner. So whenever we give a message type or message text, that should be understand for the user. Suppose if I write directly BP role is removed successfully, how they will understand which BP role is removed for which business partner they have deleted. So whenever we write a message, it should be clear with the values. So till now, whenever we practiced, I told you to specify in the message class, right? So there also we can pass ampersand value. So with the help of ampersand value, we can able to pass this numbers. But sometimes if I want to get this number from the work area, I cannot declare in the message class. So in that scenario, we can use this write statement. So this write statement. If it is a direct parameter value, then I can able to declare in the message class. But if you are getting inside of the program, so we might not be creating the message class. So at that time we can use this write statement. So like this we can able to display message. So today the requirement what I explained, we have to delete or we have to remove BP roles based on the business partner, so that end user can delete directly. So they want to delete bulk of BP roles based on the business partners. So they don't want to do in the transaction wise. Instead, they want a program. Whenever they click on execute, they will enter the business partner numbers and their business role. So that business role must be deleted for the selected business partner. So this is the requirement. For this requirement, instead of writing the logic, we are using a bapi. So whenever we write a report programs, even sometimes to create, to delete, to change, we have a standard bapis. See, our code is very minimal because I have used the bapi. If I don't use the bapi, I need to write the logic lengthy. So We need to check whether we have any standard BAPIs. If it is there, we can use in our program. Sometimes these details we can get it from the functional consultant. So sometimes we might not be get, so we need to explore it ourselves. So we are fetching the data business partner from but 000 table. Based on the user selection, we are fetching from this table, then we will store in this internal table. And with the help of this BAPI, we are going to remove BP roles. So the requirement is we need to delete BP roles based on the business partner which user has selected. So that data we have in this internal table, but directly we cannot pass this internal table to this parameter. So that is the reason we are using a structure type. So I have created a work area. From work area, at a time we can use one partner. So for this partner, one time the system will delete BP role with the help of this BAPI in the first iteration. Again, in the second iteration, it will select the second business partner and it will delete the BP role. So like that, how many business partners are there in this internal table? Those all will be deleted at a time. See, 2,942 records are deleted with a single click. But if they want to do in the transaction wise, how many times they have to do? It is a time taking process, right? So instead of that, we have written this logic. So this is the requirement. And not only this, whenever we write the logic in the real time, it is important to write errors also. So this we call it as error handling. If it is a success, anyhow we are displaying a success message, but there might be a chance of getting errors and abort messages. So in that case also we have to handle it properly. So that is the reason I have written this error message. So this abap true is nothing but it hold a single value, whether we get, like, if it is a true value it will return capital X, if it is a false value it returns a empty. But I'm going to store like error or abort, both are considered as a negative scenarios only. If error is filled or abort is filled, we want to display same message. So that is the reason I have used a variable. In both scenarios I am passing for the variable as abap true only. If this is filled, then we have to display error message, else we want to display a success message. So everyone today practice this one same scenario, practice it, and put a breakpoint, do in the debugging mode, and see the program flow so that you will understand. Till now, any doubts? Vamshi, stop recording the session.